Yep, you saw that correctly. It's Friday, and it is around just a little bit after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm hungry. So today's video, I'm going to be making some food again. So this time, I have a sack of potatoes that I'm going to use because I want to make some mashed potatoes, and I have some ground beef, some vegetables, and that's all I'm going to make. And I have some tortillas, so I'll be able to have that all together, and some cheese as well. So I'm going to be recording a little bit as I'm chopping things up along and preparing food. So let's see how it turns out. There's the potatoes I'm going to use. I'm going to fill this up with water and then get them all boiling after I rinse them. There's the beef. I'm going to use 2 bags of veggies because I want a lot of veggies this time. And I have an onion that I'm going to use as well. So I'm going to get the onion going first and then add in everything else. And then I have some tortillas, cheese ready to open up. So I'm going to cut some of this and shred it, just have it stored and ready to go. And then I have just olive oil and some other seasonings that I'm going to use. So yeah, I'm getting hungry. I can feel my stomach starting to growl. And of course, he's always hungry. Good boy. So stay tuned. How I like to get the potatoes boiling. Just to start it very simple. Bay leaves and some salt. Now let's put some water in here. All right, we're going to start with the onions. Let them get all nice and browned. And then what I like to do is add a little bit of olive oil at first, because who doesn't love olive oil? And then just throw in some salt. And so I'll just go ahead and let these go. Start cooking. Then, oh, get that big chunk right here. How did this get here? Yep. And then once these are getting nice and browned and caramelized, I'm gonna add in the beef. Okay, so as the onions are going, once this water gets boiled, I'm gonna just lower the temperature a little bit and leave it be, because this is gonna take maybe like 40-ish minutes till they get all nice and soft, and which is why I like to cook the rest of the food really low and slow. I just like how the flavors all taste and just mesh together, and I'm not in a big rush to eat. And like I said, I waited until I was really hungry before I started cooking, so no rush today. We're just chilling. Um, little man over here, good and tired, right, buddy? Yeah, we did 3 miles at the park last night, and we're gonna go again later this evening. Probably see some more of the dog park homies. So it's been good, and yeah, it's just it's felt good to just kind of get back into a regular swing of running more at the park, because there was a little time there when I know I was getting lazy, and so I was glad to just kind of focus in this last week, especially um, just making more of an effort to get running done whenever I went to the park. And I've also been doing more work with my dumbbells, because I've been slacking on that too. So I guess if that's the topic for today's video, is when you catch yourself slacking, that's the best time to whip yourself to get to work. Because if not, then the slacking is gonna stack. Ain't that right, buddy boy? Uh huh. Good boy. Beautifully coming along. This water's starting to bubble, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the little fan above the oven. So I'll try not to record myself speaking too much when I'm close to it, because I know it's gonna conflict, and I don't want the apartment to get smoky and trigger the fire alarm, because it's happened a few times. And I just got to remember to have the fan on. Sometimes I'll also open the windows, or the this big patio door, and that usually does plenty fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, just stir this up a little bit more and figure out how I'm gonna store the cheese once I get it cut open, because it's a huge block, as you can see, and I'm probably just gonna cut a little portion of it so I can shred it. Then the rest of it, probably cut it up into smaller portions so I can store it all into a Ziploc bag. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm gonna do. So that's what will take care of it. Excellent. All right. Hopefully the fan isn't too loud, but this is the bag I'm gonna use to store the rest of this cheese. This one I'm gonna shred it. So let's just get this cut it and organized in here. Yeah, we'll see how loud the fan is right now. Because if it's not too loud, then probably next time I do a cooking video, I'll be able to do more talking as I'm recording. But for now, it's fine. So if you're watching this video and you're a fan of cheese, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, let's do this. Let's do this. The three big blocks we'll put away. The two, the two bottom and top portions of the cheese we'll shred, and then we'll put the shredded cheese in the bag. Because if you're like me, then you love cheese. And I do indeed love cheese. So I'm gonna get these all shredded up, and the onions are almost ready to take the beef, so we'll get all that ready as well. All right. I like how the onions are looking. Some of them are starting to get just a little crispy, more so. But I absolutely don't mind. I love the taste of it, the texture. It tastes really great. So let's go ahead and get this beef added in. Yes, yes, yes. How fun! Everybody loves this part. Just, just a tub of meat, just going right onto the onions. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Go. Just gotta get whatever last little bits in here if you can. All right. I'm gonna rinse my hands real quickly because touching raw meat, you should always keep your cleanliness and hygiene in mind. Now that the beef is added, a lot of that beef fat is going to come out and render together and cook with the onions, and then going to add in the vegetables, and then I'm going to go ahead and just leave it all closed once it's all together, and it's going to be delicious. And by the time the potatoes are finished, it's going to be a very delicious mashed potatoes with beef and onions and vegetables, and with tortillas and some cheese, and it's going to be good. That's what we like to eat sometimes. So it's going to be really delicious, and probably going to be able to last us for today and tomorrow, and yeah, I think so. So we'll just go ahead, make sure this gets stirred up pretty well. And I'm probably going to change the wooden spoon that I'm using right now because this one is not too great for mixing this up. All right. All right. I don't know if this is your thing, but I'm sure some people would like to watch how cheese gets grated. So let me just get a close up of it, because who doesn't love to see cheese get shredded? And I got to figure out a better angle so that I can do all of this, because I think it'd be pretty cool if I can get like an angle of the cheese being shredded, like from inside the grater, the shredder, or whatever. But I got to figure out how I want to do that. I have to get like some kind of glass cover or something for the phone, or if not, use a GoPro, which I do have, which I could try to use, but that'll be for another time. All right, well, I'm not going to record the entire shredding process because that's going to just take up too much time on the video, and I doubt anybody's going to want to stick around and watch 5 minutes of cheese being shredded. But if you do, tell me, and then I might just make a separate video of just the cheese being shredded, the full the full ASMR experience. So yeah, yeah, this is the better one for mixing this up. This is the one that I usually use. Yeah, look at that. That's what I want to see. All this browning of the beef. Once all of the pink of the beef has been cooked away, then I'm going to start adding in the vegetables. I have some garlic salt seasoning and some herbs that I'm going to add in as well. And then just a little bit more um, uh, pepper, probably, because I love pepper. Let it all cook, and yeah, and then we'll be good. All right, let's try this again. This time, I'm curious to see if we can do an angle kind of like this. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go for the real cheese fans out there. There you go. Hope you're happy. I mean, it is kind of cool to see. It is satisfying because if you're a cheese lover, then we are of kindred spirits. Because what would the world be without cheese? You know, all in moderation, of course. You want to make sure you're not overdosing on cheese. You know, like there's such thing. So, anywho, I got to be watching the video on the camera as well to make sure you're not just watching the handle, because that would be ruining all the glory of the cheese. So, well, anywho, you get the picture. It's coming along beautiful. All right, first test. Let's just see how soft they're feeling right now, and still pretty hard. Barely being able to pierce the potato by a couple of millimeters. So, yeah, no, but they're on the right path. They're on the right path. So keep an eye on them. Let them keep on going. They're good and boiling. The beef and onions, they're coming along great. Most of the beef is brown, so yeah. Once there's no more pink, then I'm gonna go ahead and add in all the vegetables that I have. It's just frozen bags of vegetables. That's okay. They're delicious, and I need it. So, yep. Stay tuned. All right, let's get the vegetables added in. Maybe 2 bags is going to be a little too much on here. No, they'll shrink. Yeah, no, it all will shrink a little bit. So let me just get this first bit stirred up, and then I'll add in the next bag of vegetables, which is not as thawed out, but that's okay. I don't mind a little moisture from it being added and absorbed into this food. So yeah, no, it's gonna be good. I love vegetables. It tastes great because I noticed that the last time I made this dish, um, the potatoes definitely outweighed the amount of veggies, and I told myself I wanted more veggies in it. So no, this is good. We'll just leave this sealed for now. Let it all think about what it's done in there, and the potatoes are still going. So and the cheese is right there, just chilling. So yeah, I think we're just gonna chill now for like the next 15, 20 minutes. Come back, give it a little stir, check up on it, um, and I think that'll be good and delicious. Yeah, it's almost 2 o'clock now in the afternoon, and the weather's been pretty nice in the high 80s, low 90s lately. Much better than triple digits, that's for sure. So it was nice yesterday evening at the park, and I'm sure tonight's going to be just as nice. So we'll look forward to that. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, when you catch yourself slipping and when you catch yourself slacking and letting excuses pile up, that's the best time to remind yourself why you're doing everything that you've told yourself you're going to set out and do. Because at the end of the day, it's just me. Well, and Arlo. It's just us. Nobody's gonna do the exercise for me. Nobody's going to, work on the projects for me. Nobody's gonna, take care of my food. Nobody's gonna do any of that. It's on us. And if we're deemed worthy, we'll be rewarded. So, anywho, that's that. And yeah, I think I will check in here in a little bit. Toodaloo. Oh, aye, it's the onions. All right. Look at that. These potatoes are peeling up very nicely. These veggies and beef coming around very nicely. One of these potatoes, as you can see, absolutely broke. And look at that. It's just stabbing right through the potatoes. A lot of the water is already getting drained. This one's still just a little hard, but you know what? This one's already done. So I'm just going to get them out and start mashing them. And it'll be delicious. And I'll put it all together. And then I'm going to have lunch. So stay tuned. As you can see, there's the potatoes. I have a masher. And then what I'd like to do is add in a nice big scoop of butter. Maybe two. This helps makes the potatoes very soft and delicious. So let's see how this turns out. And I'm sure you noticed, but I like to have this with the potato skins. I just like how they taste. Simple as that. I like the texture of it. Beautiful. And now, in the state that it's in, I'm going to add in some garlic salt on here. There's going to be more in the beef already, so I don't need to put too much. And then, one of my absolute favorite seasonings is herbs de Provence. I use this thing on so much of my cooking. Love the flavor of it. And then, like I said, I'm going to add in some pepper in here. I can't really get a good angle of it. Maybe that's as good as it'll get. Whatever. You get the picture. You get the idea. And we'll just go ahead and mash this up a little bit more. I'm just going to use the spoon to get off any of these mushed bits. Oop. Delicious. Look at that. All right. Now here comes the magic that puts it all together. And I have to be careful because when I put in the beef and veggies, I need to make sure that the cast iron pan isn't touching the plastic, because the last thing that I want is for it to melt. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the other burner, and let's see if I can get this angle pretty good. Oh yeah, flatten this a little bit. Because I don't want to be tilting it and then everything just pours out and spills on the floor. That would be absolutely awful. And yeah, like I said, I got to be very careful that I'm not touching the plastic and melting it. So there we go. It is a little bit of an arm workout, but it's worth it. All right, now then, with all this mixed in together, I can just go ahead and start mixing it. All the juice from the veggies and the beef and the onions just mix up so well with the potatoes. And of course, this is absolutely boiling hot, and I'm gonna have to wait a little bit until it's nice and cool. And actually, my delivery from Amazon just got here too. I don't know if you heard the knocking on the door, but it's just Arlo's food. I ordered another bag, so I have to get it about like once a month. That's how long his bag of foods last. So yeah, I might as well show you also what that looks like. All right, so let me go grab his bag of food, then he'll show up right here in a moment. Oh, Bambas! What is this? Hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? Oh, Bambas! What's this? What's this? What's this? Yep, good boy. Good boy. That's for you. That's your yum yums. That's your yummies. Watch out. Hey, leave it alone. Watch out. Good boy. See? That's your yum yums. That's your yummies. That's your yum yums. Hey, it's not time. It's not time yet. Your dinner's tonight. So yeah, there we go. That's the food I get him. The Purina True Instinct or Nature One, whatever it's called. He really loves it. It's delicious. Not that I've tried it. Maybe. Good boy. All right. This is still really hot, so I'm just gonna have to let it set aside and cool down. So don't want to squish that cable. Just leave it here. Cheese is there, and I can start getting some tortillas made, and it'll be delicious. Now, if you're like me, living on your own with a dog, without a dinner table, because you have your exercise and your computer and the other living situation, and like me, you just eat as you're cooking, because why not? And I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this first taco, taquito, however you want to call it. Just want to get some cheese melted on it. And we'll add that on there. So it's kind of like a quesadilla almost, now that I think about it. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it. There we go. We'll just let that be. Let the cheese melt a little bit. Maybe crank up the heat a little bit higher on here. And I have some. Oh, let's see here. I'm just gonna go with good old Valentina. I got this bottle like a few months ago, so little by little, just working my way through it. And I need a plate. Oh, excuse you. Good boy. Mm-hmm. That's really hot. So let's get another tortilla going. We'll be good to go. So don't worry, I'm gonna get a shot of me taking the first bites. That's just really hot. I want to let it cool down a little bit. I don't want to burn myself on camera because that'll be embarrassing. And something that I really hate is burning myself from hot food because it just ruins my taste buds for the next few days. And I'm being more mindful of that. Delicious, right? Nice and simple, nice and easy. All right, flip this bad boy. Then, all right, let's take the first bite. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's delicious. I'm gonna have lunch now. So, like I said earlier, when you catch yourself slacking, that's the best time to remind yourself why you're doing all this. So, I'm not gonna sit down and do a proper little talking portion of video. I'm just gonna keep this to giving my message as I'm cooking. So, hope you enjoyed it and you have a great weekend. Hey, buddy. Good boy.